All right, we're back. Another episode of the Sad Powers podcast. Today, I got a good buddy of mine, also comedian, Mark Andrews. Everybody, back for the second time. How's it going, man?
I'm glad we can cut all that appropriate racist stuff you just opened with before. All those comments you were making about the disabled. Oh my God, that was shocking. Anyway, what do we want to talk about?
I don't know. Let's we gotta talk about something clickbaity, like you were saying. Maybe like what's going on in the news. What are people looking up? How do your videos get so many views? With just building a foam boat, is that what I should do?
I think it's just I don't know, raw, unadulterated talent. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Something like
that.
I don't know. It wasn't.
Go ahead.
I didn't have a plan. There wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, oh, I'm going to make a boat. Might be interesting. I'll film it.
So you got all those views just by accident, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much.
Awesome, man.
But I mean, I did have videos with more views than that in the past, but they were just like people crashing. So people obviously like to see, like, there's paragliding videos, right? So I took those off, right? Because I thought it's got to have a theme. It's got to be, you can't just have a mishmash, right?
You took them off even though they had tons of views?
Yeah, well, they had tons of views like 9 years ago. So now the quality's rubbish and they don't get any views anymore, but they did because people like to see like paragliders crashing and stuff.
Was it like videos that you actually took of paragliders crashing, or that you?
Yeah. Cause I used to teach it for a while.
Man, I think you should have left that up there. It sounds awesome to see that.
No, because it's just one. Then you end up. It was just one of those bitty YouTube channels where people just put their stuff somewhere, right? So you can find it. Right. You know what I mean? Those kind of channels. It's like a personal channel where you put stuff up and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's whatever you happen to have filmed, and you don't edit it. You just slap it on. So.
Yeah, it's kind of what I do, or what I was doing before the podcast, and still.
Yeah, I stumbled across. Hang on, where is it? I wrote this down. What, Mr. Tiny Pre? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
So what is a tiny pre?
So when I was in grade school, I had a friend that went by Mini Led. His last name was Letterer, and he had like an older brother. So they called his older brother Led, and they called him Mini Led. And then my last name's Prentice, so the first three letters are Pre. And I have two older siblings, so I was like, what's smaller than Mini? Tiny. And then that was like that was like in grade school, like grade 6 or something. And then I just like never changed it.
It's a terrible nickname, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like pencil dick.
Yeah, Tiny Pre is even worse. Like I was using it for gamer tags and all this stuff, and people always call me like Tiny Dick and shit. And it's like
you're not gonna sell merch with that, are you?
No, yeah. I left that in the past, changed it to Sad Powers, but yeah. What's your name on YouTube is just your name, right? Mark Andrews? Yeah.
I'm not very creative.
So what should I title this to make it the most clickbaity thing possible?
Aliens are real.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. They're not. Well, they are probably.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't come and visit us. Despite what Adam Wickens said.
What the government released that they said vehicles from out of this world.
Yeah, they're stupid people in the government. They're everywhere.
Yeah, true. So you think they're just lying, or or misinformed?
I think it would have reached the headlines if we'd been visited by extraterrestrials. It's like when people say, "Oh yeah, ghosts are real." Okay, so but they're not in the scientific literature. We don't have like classifications of them.
Right.
You know, is it possible that aliens are visiting us? Yeah, is it possible? Is it likely? Not really. Come on, why would
it's more likely than ghosts, though, right?
Oh yeah, because that's impossible.
Yeah,
they don't exist. It's more likely than Father Christmas as well, just in case Mitch happens to watch the first 3 minutes of this.
I doubt it. Yeah, like you were saying, nobody watches it. I gotta get those numbers up.
Well, and that's what you've got to get. You've got to get people watching for more than like 2 seconds. Because if someone clicks on you thinking they're helping you out to get you a view, but then they fuck off immediately, it doesn't help you at all, because the algorithm goes, oh, they looked at it and it wasn't very interesting, and they buggered off.
Yeah, I hate that. I have friends that do that, and I can tell because when I premiere it live sometimes, I'll have like 2 people watching. It'll go up to 3 people watching. They'll come in and say like, "Hey, Sab," or something. I'll reply, and then they'll never reply because they fuck off. They go back, and it goes back down to 2 people watching after a couple of seconds. I'm like, "You fuckers, just come in and say something quick." I can see that you left. You know.
That doesn't help you at all. They're doing you no favors, because all they're doing, they're telling the algorithm, "Oh yeah, we clicked on it. We had a look. It was rubbish. We immediately left after 12 seconds." You know.
Yeah, exactly. It should be better. If they want to help, they should just not click on it at all. You know what I mean? If they don't want to actually watch it. Yeah.
That's what you need. You need genuine. You need to stop getting people like if they're going to watch it all of it or none of it, right?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
It doesn't serve it up to more people, right?
Mm-hmm. And maybe like having like an hour long talk a lot of time is that bad? Maybe I should like shorten them so that people want to watch.
So. I don't think so, because they just want something to advertise on. So if they know that people watch the first 15 minutes, they don't care whether it was the entire thing or not. They just know that
okay. Yeah. Just better than 10 seconds is awful, right? But 15 minutes is cool.
Well, yeah, it's got to be long enough to slap an advert on eventually, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So they don't care if, if it's an hour and someone watches 30 minutes, I don't think you get penalised if it was,
right.
You know what I mean? It's still 30 minutes of good content, because someone has sat and watched it long enough before they've clicked off of it, right?
That's a good point. And I hate with the ads, it's always like right in the middle of a sentence or something, where the ads are placed. You know, it pisses me off, the YouTube
and
ads.
That's what I love about your videos. Sad, they're never interested by adverts.
Yeah,
and they never will be.
Whoa. One day, maybe. You're helping me. I like that you've given me some great advice. Same with Adam Wickens.
He obviously knows what he's doing, because he's done it.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Does he make a lot of money out of it?
Well, he sells like a regular job, and I feel like he's not making like a shitload yet, but he's like on his way there.
Yeah.
Like he's gaining subscribers like crazy, right? And his live streams get more like, it's like going up and up. It's not like he's staying at, like, last time I talked to him, before we just did the podcast he was at like 20,000 subscribers or something, and now he's like at like 35,000.
Yeah,
so he almost doubled in just like a couple months, you know. So
yeah, I mean, he's got a really good niche there, because it's obviously something that, not a lot of people could do that content, because you'd need a house full of like snakes and lizards and whatever.
True, yeah, that's a good point. He does
get
some of his footage from like his friends and stuff even too, because he's got friends that
what he should do, because he was saying he was interested in paramotoring, he should learn to paramotor and then video it and do like a vlog of the whole process, from start to finish, like from not being able to fly to getting his license to running out of fuel, crashing in a tree, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, but like he couldn't really put that on his channel, could he?
Well, you'd create a new one.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a completely different audience, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
if you were to do that kind of stuff, you would put it on a different channel than the boat channel?
Yeah, I think so. Unless you think there's a crossover, right? Unless you think like because there's certain things that people would be interested in. There'd be like an overlap, wouldn't there? But I mean, snakes and flying, probably not as much as.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. A lot of people, I think, just like tune in because they like his personality and stuff too, though. They're not necessarily even there.
But what I think is funny is when you had him on, he was effing and jeffing, and that's like really polite way of saying swearing and saying
effing and jeffing. Yeah, I like that.
Whereas on his YouTube thing, he's like, it's not like that at all. And I wonder,
it's super clean. Like kids could watch his YouTube, and
I wonder whether it would harm him if people saw him in real Adam mode, right? With the old.
Mm-hmm. And he's even worse on stage. On stage, he says some real fucked up shit. I love it.
Yeah, because it's like the exaggerated version on stage, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
a good point. Yeah, I wonder if
I
people.
mean, I wonder if David Green's got like a secret channel where he's just like dropping F-bombs and
Oh no!
swearing.
Yeah, he's all about being PC. He doesn't even want to laugh if somebody says the wrong thing. Yeah, I miss doing checkmates. I thought that was gonna be good, but it's like I think with people, it's like they expect stuff to grow faster than it will, right? So it was growing really slow, barely getting any views. I think that really deterred him.
Yeah.
Um, we had gotta have more clickbaity titles, but I tried doing what you said, like a little bit, right? So I put whoever, and then I would say talks about blah blah blah, and
Yeah.
then those videos get like the same amount of views when I just put the name anyway.
Okay,
So
but so
it's
what
like
you've
it
got right
wasn't
now
working.
is you've got a bunch of friends watching it, right? And you've
Yeah.
got some subscribers, and then so YouTube is going to serve it up to people randomly and see whether they like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got to firstly, it's got to be something that will get served up to them. It's got to be something that is on their radar, right? So it's not going to serve you random stuff. So there, it's got. So you got to have something in the title that would get served to somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And right now, you've just got Sad Powers, Mark Andrews. That's not getting served to anyone because no one knows what it is, right?
Yeah, no one knows our name, so I just.
So you'd have to have keywords in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not even getting the first hurdle. You're not getting your stuff served to anyone. Then they'd have to click on it. That's your second hurdle.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to have something in the title that would make them click on it. Well, if I see a random two people with their heads on a thing with their names, I'm not clicking on it because I have no idea what it is, right? So they don't. Then if they do click on it, they've got to watch for more than a few seconds, right? We've already missed out on that one already tonight, but
Yeah,
you know,
everyone is clicked off by now. We're definitely not being interested.
There's like a series of hurdles that you've got to overcome, right? You've got to line up all of those things.
Yeah. Oh
Because,
man.
you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You can't
Mm-hmm.
you can't just copy Joe Rogan and expect to have like 1 million people suddenly want to.
Well, am I copying Joe Rogan? I guess kind of having just different guests on.
Well, no, you're not.
Yeah. But I'm like the poor man's Joe Rogan. I talk to just nobodies, you know. So like he talks to
You
actual
could
famous.
title it, I'm no Joe Rogan or something like that.
Yeah, I like aliens are real, but I can't also like clutter it. I can only title it one thing. I can't be like aliens are real, and I know Joe Rogan. It's like what?
Yeah, well, there's the title, and then you put words all over your thumbnail as well, right?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I hate those thumbnails though. Like I don't click on those videos when I see them when they're like super clickbaity looking.
No, but yeah, but
But most people do, maybe, right?
Yeah.
That's why people do that because it works, you know.
Yeah, 5 things you should never do, like clickbait like that. I don't know that kind of nonsense, right?
Yeah. Maybe I should start doing like top 5 videos, top 10.
Yeah, or just have some really cheesy like opening thing where it's like your bucket list or your top 5 stupid mistakes, or I don't know, something stupid, something that someone randomly would click on. You know what I mean?
Okay, so top 5 things you should never do. What's one of them? Never start
Number
a podcast.
Are we starting at 1 or are we starting at 5?
Yeah, let's do it like that. We'll start at 5.
5. Top 5 things you should never do. I've done a few of them.
You've done so much cool stuff. Yeah. So should everyone go paragliding, stuff like that, or
No.
why not?
Because then all the launch sites would be crowded, and I wouldn't be able to go when I wouldn't.
But no, should everyone like try it?
No,
do you think?
No. People are different.
Yeah.
Some people like golf and poetry, and
I would love to try it. That's sick that Adam wants to get into it. You said before we talked about it a bit. You said it's not that hard, right?
well, I mean, it's not that hard, no. But I mean, because I taught a few people, so you see different people. There are some people that don't seem to have the instruction manual to their body, and they're really uncoordinated and they can't do anything. And this thing's got loads of strings, right? So some people get really confused with all the strings and they get tangled up, and it's like, you know, other people can just go, oh yeah, I can see how to untangle that. And then you'll get someone will be spending like a day and a half trying to undo it, and then they unclip it. And so some people just don't have any common sense.
Right.
But, you know, most normal people that are above average intelligence could do it.
Yeah, I was watching lots of videos today of like dumb people answering like simple questions, and they'd be like, what country is Canada in? Like questions like that, and then people would say like US and stuff.
I cannot believe how stupid people are. I was watching this thing with comedians. It's like a British TV panel show, right? I think we talked about it last time, Taskmaster. And honestly, there's people that just don't seem to know how the world works. One woman didn't know how to make brown with paint. I'm like, she's like 40 years old. I'm like, how'd you get to 40 years old and you don't know how to make brown from like paint? And there was just other things, like they got these tasks they've got to do. You know, when you siphon like petrol out of gasoline out of a car, right? You like.
Personally, I've never done it, but yeah, I know how it's done. Yeah.
The end that you suck at has got to be lower, right? Because it's going to go down.
Yeah.
Even if it can go up, but it's got to come down as long as the bottom.
Yeah, if you're going like this and you suck it, it'll just go back down. Like it just gravity,
so
right?
they're doing this task and they're trying to siphon stuff, and there's like no common sense. I'm like, these are like famous celebrities. I'm like, wow, you've really done well considering your level of intelligence.
Yeah. There's so many stupid celebrities. It kind of pisses me off a little bit because I'm like, these idiots can get famous. Why can't I do it? You know, it should be easy for someone that's.
So Sav, why is it that you want to get famous? What is your reasoning? What is your?
Well, not necessarily like famous. Like you said, I'd be happy if it made enough money that I could live off of, and it just, I don't want to like do a normal job.
That's laziness. Is really.
Yeah, well, like I get like anxiety of not being free. Like I feel like when I'm like I don't like that I can't just leave. Like right now, if I wanted to go do something else, I could just hang up on you and go fuck off and do something else if I wanted to, right? But at a job, it's like you're trapped there. You'll get yelled at, yeah. You know. But like I still like doing comedy, and that's kind of like a commitment. But at the same time, it's only like it's not as long. Like at the most, you have to do like 20 minutes on stage that I've done. And that feels like a privilege.
You don't feel trapped by that.
Yeah.
You don't like.
You know, but like if you're like 8 hours, like sitting there, like I used to do telemarketing, and it was like it was torture. Yeah.
Yeah. You're working off a script. You go into robot mode, and you're just pissing people off all day for money.
Yeah, and it would affect like my overall just happiness. I feel like because it's like I was constantly dreading having to go into work while I'm there. It's like I can't wait till I get off, and like. Even if I make less money, even if I make less than minimum wage, like if I make like $3-4 an hour podcasting, that would be sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To have some sort of money coming in. I have merch now. I made $5 off that so far.
Yeah. I watched the whole show. I memorized it. And it was funny because after I watched it, I got advertised. I got like an advert came up for one of the companies that Adam had mentioned, like the t-shirt companies.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, but it was on the next video, so somebody else got the revenue for it.
That's wild, man.
So they caption the videos. They must know the content, right? So YouTube must also know the content of what we're jabbering on about.
Yeah, that's so crazy to me. Like the other day, I didn't even have my physical phone on me. I'm outside talking to a friend, and we were talking about psychedelic mushrooms, and then like half hour later he leaves, I come back inside, go on my computer, I see that ad instantly. And it's like that could have been a coincidence, but I've never been advertised on Facebook for mushrooms before. Like it seems so weird to see that. And like just right after, it was just like so weird. And like so did his phone recognize my voice, or like it's so like mind-boggling. I don't know, but shit's crazy nowadays.
I've got to tell you something that will scare you, right? So there are some websites that put out like a really high-pitched tone, and then there'll be some apps that listen for this tone, so they'll know what website you're visiting while your phone's in the room.
Wow, that's crazy. Huh.
So there's ways of tracking what people. Yeah, these advertisers get sneakier and sneakier, right?
And it's only
It'll
going to
say
get
access to your
worse.
microphone. It'll say, "Can I have access to your microphone?" It might have a legitimate reason for it, but then it's always like on in the background doing stuff.
Right, like TikTok apparently is always listening to everybody all the time.
Yeah, that's
Which
not
is so weird. Like fucking, like I get advertised for all this shit, but I've never bought anything off the internet or anything. Like, does it? It must work. You know, people are like,
yeah,
"Oh, I really need a new lawnmower," and then they see an ad for lawnmowers and they go and buy one.
Yeah, but it's got to work. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing it, would they? I mean, it's just a numbers game.
In a way, I think the smarter way that I like is companies that just don't advertise at all, like Tesla. They're the number one car company in the world right now, and they've never spent any money on advertising.
Yeah.
Same with like Joe Rogan's podcast, number one podcast, never advertised for it, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a unique way of doing it. I mean, they're both basically trying to make a product, aren't they? That's best in class.
Yeah, exactly.
I've gone off with Joe Rogan a little bit on his COVID stance. I mean, I'm usually.
What's his stance? Does he think it's a conspiracy?
Well, I saw the one with him and Bill Burr, and I like both of them.
Me too.
And Bill Burr Bill Burr danced around the subject because they were talking about masks and they were talking about basically compliance, and Joe Rogan was saying, it's not as bad as everyone thought it was going to be, and then Bill Burr was basically dancing around the fact that he disagreed with him, but he wasn't actually sort of being.
So you agree with Bill Burr, and you think it is as bad that everyone is saying it is, or that they thought it was going to be?
Well, it's got the potential to be really, really bad, but because of the things we've done, it hasn't got as bad. But there's a lot of people going, see, it's not as bad because you moron. It would have been if we'd done nothing. It's like at the early days. I mean, it's like in some countries it's going rampant, but in the early days of the pandemic, it was like growing at a stupid pace, right? It was growing. It was doubling every 4 days. So it doesn't take long for it to be a problem. Right, but it's because of all the things that have been implemented, all the annoying stuff like masks and social distancing and staying away from each other.
So do you think the masks work though?
How could they not work? You've got people wearing something, you've got another person wearing something, and they're 6 feet apart. Like, if they wanted to make them stick, you couldn't. You know what I mean? It's like, well, and the other thing, you've got on the side of caution, right? I mean. Is it likely to work? Yes. Do we know that it definitely works? No. Do we know that it definitely doesn't work? No. But I mean, does it make sense that it would work? Yeah, it makes sense that it would work. So let's just put masks on. Is it that inconvenient? Not really. Do you look like a chump? Yeah, but if everyone's wearing it, it's fine. You know, it's not that inconvenient. People that lose their mind going, I've got to wear a mask. It's I'm a sheep. No. You know, you're just looking out for people that I mean, there's people out there that are immunocompromised. There's like people with conditions and stuff. That's And
it's just nice to not get sick, even if you're not immune compromised. Like, I usually get a cold every year. Like I said this before, I get a cold twice a year in the fall and in the spring. And this year I just didn't get a cold, and it was so nice. Like normally I'm like sick for a week with bronchitis or something.
There's no like hard. You can't really do a like controlled scientific experiment, but there's loads of like kind of almost scientific stuff. Like the incidence of flu has gone down globally, right? In places where they've worn masks.
Yeah.
So when they looked at, I forget where it was now. It might be Hong Kong or somewhere else, Korea. Anyway, there's somewhere where they were wearing masks and their incidence of flu just dropped right down to almost zero. It's like, well, clearly that, and it coincides with the implementation of like mandatory mask wearing. Clearly, it's having an effect, right? So if it works for the flu, it's probably working for coronavirus. And there's other stuff. There was a naval ship where there was a US naval ship where there was an outbreak of coronavirus, and I think something like 54% of people that wore masks contracted it, and 83% of people that didn't wear masks contracted it, right? So there's all this kind of, like, it's not super hard science, but it kind of shows you, it's kind of points in the right direction and says, yeah, it probably works, right? Have you seen that video with the guy with like the flamethrower and the mask?
No. What happens?
He's squirting propane through a mask, and then without the mask, right? And then trying to ignite it.
And what happens? Does it work through the mask?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't work.
Okay.
It really blocks it.
Yeah, that seems like common sense.
Yeah, but it's cool because it's the visual representation. It makes the point, right?
Right. That's a good point.
And
have you read all those books behind you?
No, that's just like a background. They're not real good.
Yeah. It's a green screen.
You click through and you put a background.
Yeah.
I read a few of them. A lot of them on my to-do list.
I like that one, the tilt, the leaning tower.
Yeah, I actually have read that one. That's quite interesting, actually.
What's it about? Is it about the tower?
What's it about? What's it about?
I don't know why they need a.
What do you think it's about? It's a wild guess. I don't know.
It could be fiction. Oh no.
Oh, tilt. I pulled out tilt and everything fell down.
Yeah.
It says a skewed history of the Tower of Pisa.
Cool. And you said it's really interesting? It doesn't sound like it would be.
No, it is actually. It's like how they tried to, because it's like when they were building it, they built it and they started doing this because it was going over. So it's like.
Oh, really? So it started tilting before construction was even done.
So they built it.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought that it was like just really old and it like eventually just started tilting.
And there've been multiple attempts to stabilize it through the years, right? But some of them have gone wrong and like it's gone a bit more.
One day it's just gonna fall over.
About the most recent attempts to stabilize it because they don't want it falling over, obviously, because it's a nice money earner.
Yeah.
So, but then they're all, you know, they have like these big committees. It was kind of interesting if you're into that kind of stuff.
Now that comedy's back, are you gonna start doing shows, or do you want to wait?
I'm signed up for the 17th.
Oh, nice, sick.
You're on the 10th, I noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I chose the 17th.
Yeah, I figured.
No, I thought I'll probably go along and see how the 10th turns out if I can get in. I mean, I think it's probably going to be crowded, isn't it? I mean.
Well, they're only allowed to fill half capacity, if I'm not mistaken. So even like it'll sell out at half. Then it usually.
What is the capacity of that place? It's got to be like less than 100, isn't it?
Oh no, it's gotta be like 200. I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm bad at estimating like amounts of people. You know, like if you see a crowd of people, there could be 1,000 people. There could be 100 people.
Yeah,
Trump's
not good at that either, is he?
Yeah, yeah. I should be fucking prime minister in Canada. That'd be wild. So Trump could be president. It's possible. Like I never thought I could be a position like that, but if that guy could do it. That's one good thing about him being president, you know? It keeps the dream alive that anyone can be president.
Anyone can do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Badly.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really talked about...
Do you think he's going to get in again?
Yeah, I kind of do, yeah.
Me too.
If I was going to bet money on it, I would bet on him, probably.
Yeah, me too.
But I wouldn't vote for him. But
no, I wouldn't vote for him.
Yeah,
unless it was for I don't know, suicide or something like that.
Yeah.
Did you hear the David Attenborough thing? David Attenborough was. I think
no.
We may have talked about this last time. I'm not sure. David Attenborough said someone should take out Trump. He was being interviewed and he said, "I'm surprised no one's bumped him off yet."
Right.
The interviewer was like, "You can't say that," and he's like, "I'm 94. I can say whatever I like."
That's awesome.
It got pulled down from YouTube, but I watched it before they pulled it down. It was pretty funny.
Nice. Yeah.
You're on the 10th, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You written new stuff?
No, not really. I have like some new maybe like concepts. I've been thinking of some stuff that's funny. That thing that you told me that was funny about like the chicken skin thing, I've been like trying to think about like how to
The
make that
chicken
into.
skin. What?
Yeah, so like me and Tim were talking about, I think Tim said that he ate a piece of chicken and like he poop out the skin, and I was like, oh, I
Oh,
thought that was
okay.
my ass is just shedding. Um,
Sorry, yeah. I tried to
yeah,
go
and
to
I don't
my
know how to
memory.
like it's funny in the conversation, but it's like I don't know how to like build that into a joke. So
Yeah,
I have trouble with like finding like the perfect way to say
yeah,
something. You know,
yeah.
it's like,
Sometimes you have like the kernel of an idea,
mhm.
and then you try it out and it's shit, but you still hang on to it because you know it can be done better, right?
Right. It's like some like every word matters, like your tone matters, like everything in comedy. It's like sometimes people like look like they're so casually up there talking and it seems like and they might be, but sometimes it's also like contrived like that, you know what I mean? Where it's
Oh
like
yeah, I've
planned
seen
down.
some of the best ones I've seen. I was in Showtime and I saw one guy 2 nights in a row. And the first night I saw, and he's famous, but
Mm.
I didn't know he was famous. I have no idea. He was in some stuff I can't remember. Anyway, he was a well-known comic, and he came on, and he was fucking amazing. And I thought it was all off the cuff, and I thought,
Mhm.
wow, this guy's genuinely really funny. And then he came the next night, and it was like a carbon copy. It was like
And it
even
just blew
that.
your mind and you're like, fuck.
No, I mean, like
That's interesting.
it
So
was
it
just
sounded like
impressive.
he was making it up on the spot both
It
nights.
sounded like it
Huh.
was like things were just occurring to him. He
Yeah.
was slurring his speeches, a bit drunk. It sounded just like it was like off the cuff, and it was like carbon copy, verbatim, almost identical from one night to the next.
That's crazy.
It was really impressive.
Was he completely sober, you think, and even faking the drunkenness?
No, I think he was actually genuinely drunk, but I think he'd
That's
done it.
even more impressive. He
Well,
can keep it
I think
consistent
he'd done
drunk.
it so many times. He
Yeah.
just knew it inside out, right?
Hmm. Did you have you written any new jokes or anything?
Like 2 minutes worth of stuff.
That's pretty good. That's like halfway to 5 minutes almost. That's all you need.
I was thinking about reading this out. I'll try this out on you. Again, kernel of an idea. I haven't polished this up. This is like, but there's a bit, when I got my COVID test, so
Hmm.
they give you this bit of paper and it says, avoid sharing personal items, especially those that come into contact with saliva, such as toothbrushes. Who the fuck?
Who's
Sharing
doing that? Yeah.
toothbrushes.
Um.
And who
Yeah, we
needs to
just got the
know not
family
to share?
toothbrush, you know. We all use it.
Oh, that's it. I'm not sharing my toothbrush anymore.
Yeah.
It's COVID.
Um. So you obviously didn't have it then, right? Because you thought you might have it for a bit there.
I didn't think I would have it. I just had a
You're
fever, so
right.
I was just trying to follow the regulations and get tested and stuff. Plus, work were on me like,
Mm.
get tested, get tested.
And you had a fever just because you were like stressed out, or
No,
does
I
that
had
cause
something. I don't
fevers?
know. I
Oh,
had something. I had
you
like
had something else. You had the flu or something.
I don't know,
Mm.
something which worried me as well because I was thinking I was trying really hard not to get COVID, and I managed
Mm.
to catch something else. So I was like, fucking hell, I've been like hand sanitizing. I was for a while I was like a hermit, and I was like
Mm.
wiping down my grocery bags and all the things in them, and like I was going over the top, and I was like, how the hell have I managed to get something? Because
Mm-hmm.
I had a fever for like 3 days,
That's wild.
38 degrees. I don't know what I had, but it wasn't COVID.
Hmm. That's good that it wasn't COVID. Do you know anyone that's gotten it?
I know. Yeah. Well, vaguely. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know
my mom
people.
was saying that she didn't know anyone that got it, and I was like, "Well, mom, you don't know that many people, you know."
Yeah, but if you think 17, what are we up to? Like 18 million people now,
Mm.
and there's 7 or 8 billion people on the planet. So, well,
Oh,
only
oh,
five.
the whole world, 17 million people have it or have gotten it.
Yeah, something like that. 18 million.
Okay,
By the time you get around to posting it, it'd be like 25 million
right. So the numbers are still going up then.
globally. Yeah, we're pretty good in Ontario, I think, right now.
Huh.
As long as people don't get stupid and start having like house parties with 200 people,
Hmm.
then we'll be all right.
I remember like a month or two ago. I forget when exactly. I had a social distance fire, and I
Yeah,
even
I
had
saw
people.
that. I was so tempted to go. I really wanted to go there. Just
That
to,
would have been awesome. It was a great time. Levi did the same joke like 20 different ways as all our friends that are comedians, and I'm pretty sure he did an impression of you. So to, I think he
it was
did.
someone at school.
He just pretended to read notes when he was pretending to be.
Oh, whatever works, whatever
Yeah.
works. I've got a crappy memory.
But yeah, someone was so mad at us. I remember some guy commenting like about the numbers and stuff and saying like let's all just get drunk over Zoom instead, and it's like nothing did happen, but it was only like 10 people or something, right? It wasn't like crazy.
Yeah.
And good thing,
And
man. I would have
if
been
you're
pissed if
outside,
I got.
I mean, the thing is though, if you're getting drunk, then you don't follow any rules, do you? I mean, that's the problem. Is when people start getting a bit drunk and stupid.
That's the excuse that rapists use, Mark. You can't blame the alcohol. That's the thing. Is like when I drink, I'm still like the same person. I never really make crazy mistakes drunk, and I never blame the alcohol.
Then
You know,
sir, aren't doing it properly.
I'm not getting drunk enough. That's the problem. Yeah.
No, but I mean, when people are drunk, they don't tend to go. They're not getting their tape measure out and going, "Are you 6 feet away from me?"
Right.
You
Right.
mask, are you? You know.
Mm-hmm. That's a good.
So
Point.
yeah, no, I saw that and I was tempted to go, but then I was like, I can't.
It's
I'm
not
not
worth
gonna.
the risk.
I can't miss Niagara's top comic and then go to Sam's barbecue.
Yeah. No, that you didn't even miss it because you did drop out early, but it was canceled anyways. So
Oh yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes
No,
back,
yeah.
when it comes back, you're allowed back in, right? Because it is come back in
David
November.
already said that
Okay,
because we
good.
were doing. I was filming stuff with David, just sort of helping out at the Pelham place, whatever that place is.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about the Meridian
Meridian
Center.
Center.
Yeah.
Something. So now I was filming stuff, and this was before. This was like I don't know, February or something. And then me and David were going, this is all going to go tits up, isn't it? And he was like, oh, I can't cancel. And I'm going, you're going to have to cancel. And he goes, oh yeah, but and I was trying to persuade him to cancel sooner rather than later, because then I was like, you can make a like a public statement, and you can be a leader. You know what I mean? You can be ahead of the game, and you can cancel before you're forced to cancel. You know what I mean? You can come out and make a. But he was still like, oh, I'm not sure. Maybe it's gonna die down. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I understand him being hopeful and stuff because like he put his heart and everything into that. He, and money and stuff. So it's like it sucks, and for all the businesses, it sucks, man. There's so many businesses that have closed, like O Canada A. They would do like musicals and like plays and shit there, and it was like dinner.
Well, yeah, and all the restaurants and stuff are closed down. There's loads of stuff that's closed down. Like
Yeah, it closed forever.
Our local sushi bar's gone.
That sucks. Damn. For some reason, I would expect you to not like sushi. To me, if I had to guess, I'd say you hate it.
What?
I don't know. Yeah, it's surprising. Sushi. Yeah. Sushi's one of those things like people either love or they hate it,
Well, I love it.
Yeah, me too.
As well. I'm not a fussy eater. I will eat anything.
Oh, but the cones? Do you like the cone ones? I hate those.
Anything. If it's
the
lived,
cone wraps?
I'll eat it.
Oh, okay. All right, let's talk about some more clickbaity stuff. So, yeah, I want to know what to put in the title. I want to make this work and get tons of views. I want the chance. If a lot of people watch it and they hate it, that's okay. At least I know that I suck. But if no one ever watches it, then I never know.
Sam Powers shows you how to dance.
Yeah, but then I have to follow through and actually dance. If we put the title like Aliens Are Real or something, I think that's the one I'm going with so far. Mark Andrews 2, Aliens Are Real. Or should I just not even put the number or anything in there, just all caps, Aliens Are Real? What do you think?
Because immediately they're going to expect us to be talking about aliens, and we're just meandered all over the place.
Yeah, true, exactly. We should have maybe planned this out more. Fuck. All right, let's start over. I'll cut out everything else. Let's only talk about aliens.
We're back at the Slack Powers podcast. Welcome back. Tonight we're talking about aliens.
Yeah.
Do they exist? Are they real? And what about Yetis?
Do you believe Yetis or Bigfoot? Do you think those are possible to be real or no?
Yeah, that's why they found them. No, but Yeti ghosts, they're definitely real.
yeah, for sure. Man,
no, I don't. Yeah, that cryptozoology stuff. Not buying it.
So, like, the people that are into that shit, ghosts and stuff, do you want to convince them that they're wrong, or you're just
I know
like, fuck
people
it?
that are into all that stuff. I know. I've got a really good friend that's into all that stuff.
So do you try to convince them that they're wrong, or you're just like, let's not talk about it?
No, it's better not to talk about it, because I'm gonna just get patronizing and insulting very quickly, which is something I tend to do.
Yeah.
I've been told. And I'm just going to offend people, and it's something I'm working on in my old age, not offending people. But religion, it's rubbish. Grow up.
Grow up already. I understand the appeal of a lot of like religions and stuff, right? Because I don't know, like it's baffling to me, like how perfect we are, like distance from the sun, how we have like the moon and everything. So we're just far enough that we can have water, like liquid and solid, and on the same planet. Even like seasons and shit. It seems like, like.
You know how big the universe is? You got any idea how big it is?
Yeah, it's like unknowingly big, right? It's expanding.
Have you seen like there's these videos where they zoom out and like orders of magnitude, right? Orders of magnitude 10 times, and they have these circles that are 10 times bigger, 10 times bigger, 10 times bigger, and you sort of see it all shrinking away, right?
It's like mind-boggling. I can't even comprehend it. When it's like,
so it's a lot of space, right? So you think about lottery. Someone's going to win the lottery and go, that's amazing, I got the numbers. What are the chances? Yeah, but it was definite that someone was going to get the numbers, right? And
whoa, yeah.
It's the same in the universe. The universe is a lottery.
That's a good point.
There's a lot of numbers, and it's fucking enormous. Like, ridiculously, you can't even fathom how enormous it is. So it's going to get it right somewhere, right?
They say it's so, like, this is one theory that I don't like, but they say it's so big that there must be another Earth with another Sebastian and like another Mark.
Who's the they?
I just heard this a lot, like that mathematically speaking, it's so big that there must be like because they say that it's so big that things would have to repeat themselves or something.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe I'm wording it incorrectly in a sense.
No, I know what you're saying. It's like it's like the infinite monkeys typing on the typewriter thing as well, right? Yeah, exactly.
That they're saying it's that big, essentially. But even with that, I feel like infinite monkeys typing on infinite, they still wouldn't write Shakespeare. You just have the same monkeys pressing the same stupid keys.
Okay.
They don't know to hit the space bar, bro. They just keep hitting numbers and shit.
Google Cole Pilkington and infinite monkeys or infinite chimpanzees, because this is a conversation that I've already listened to online.
Okay. Yeah, the whole
infinite monkeys would come up with all the works.
Yeah, I know. I was just joking, because obviously infinite. That's like the whole thing with Rick and Morty. You know that show? Have you watched it?
No, I haven't watched it, but is it like a really spotty looking specky kid or something? And
no, so it's a cartoon, and basically they're saying like there's infinite universes, right? So basically my point is all the fan fiction and everything about that show is all canon. Everything's canon because infinite universes, everything's canon, right?
And everything's what? Canon?
Yeah, you know what that means?
No. Educate me.
Okay, so like say like there's like a TV show, sometimes they make like an episode that isn't canon, so it's not part of the full story.
You mean like in the Bible?
So like
yeah.
So like with Star Wars, with the Star Wars movies, they say the comic books aren't canon. So the stuff that happens in the comic books doesn't affect the movie universe, right?
I thought you were using it in a different way, but you mean in like the same way they say in the Bible, right? It's that within the canon of the Bible, because there's these books outside of it that aren't part of it, right? So I just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
All right, yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So Rick and Morty show.
Yeah, everything is canon because infinite universe is infinite possibilities. So if you make fan fiction, that counts as being canon as part of the TV show because everything that's possible will happen has already happened, right?
True.
You get what I'm saying?
Not really.
All right, someone out there does. Yeah. What else do you want to talk about, man?
Okay, infinite. Oh, my beard's spilling. Hang on, just push that over there and pretend that didn't happen. Yeah, infinities.
Oh wait, yeah. Going back to like parallel universes and stuff. Do you think that's a possibility where there's like a say you made like you decide to go left instead of right? There's like a universe out there that exists.
Well, yeah. I mean, as an idea, it seems like it could happen, but how would you test it? So within science, there's what's testable and what's not testable, right? So
for me, I don't think so, and this is why. So I think you always go left or you always go right. Like if you decided to go in that direction or made like there's a reason. You never just do something for no reason to cause to go in a different direction. You know what I mean? Like if you lived your life over again, you'd make all the same choices.
We're getting deep into philosophy now. So this is something that Newton called basically the clockwork universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Newton was a genius nutcase, right? He was into alchemy and all sorts of stuff. His book is up here somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, I read a biography, and Newton was into a whole bunch of weird stuff, but also he thought the universe was clockwork, right? It obeyed clockwork rules so that it would come out. So it was like, so if you knew the state of the universe at any one point, you would know the state of the universe at future points, right? Because it's just following rules, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Einstein came along and said, no, it doesn't quite work like that because things are not mechanical. They're not following rules like a clock. They're actually probabilistic, right? And so that allows for the multiple universes kind of idea. So with the Newtonian view, if you know the exact state of the universe at one point, you'll know it in any following point in time. You'll be able to predict where it goes, knowing the rules and everything, right? Because it's just ticking along. Whereas Einstein was saying it's probabilistic. So you've got like the electron isn't going around in an orbit. It's like a cloud of probabilities as to where it exists, right? And so that's the difference between the two sorts of schools of thought. And it turns out, that from experiments we know it is more like that probabilistic.
How crazy is that? That seems like shit like that is like I feel so stupid when trying to learn about it, where it's like they can't like measuring the like that whole shit where it's like measuring that small. So you know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah. So the point is, it looks like we're in a universe where if you run it from exactly the same starting conditions, it could potentially go different ways.
That's so interesting.
There's some randomness in the way things turn out. On a macroscopic and a large scale, things turn out a certain way. But on the really microscopic kind of small level, you can't predict, like in radioactive decay, which atom is gonna decay from the parent to the daughter nucleus.
Yeah, something
that you can say that this percentage of them is going to do it, but you can't point at which one. It's like popcorn, right? You look at popcorn in the microwave, you can't point at which kernel is going to pop next, but you can say that 20.
Yeah, but if you were smart enough and you like studied it, you could. Like that's what I'm like.
Yeah, you could, but with the popcorn, that's where the analogy breaks down. But, but with real physics, that you can't like point it and go, that's going to happen next. You go, it might happen. It's like a 60% chance it will. And that's the universe we live in, and we know that we live in that universe by experiment.
Yeah. The thing that like I can't really wrap my head around, which is also proven, the Einstein shit, is like how like you can essentially like time travel, right? Going different speeds like affects time. And like to me, like that's so fucking crazy because like I can't like wrap my head around that. You
Well,
know, it's
you
like
know what else is gonna blow your mind? There is no universal now. If I go like that, that doesn't synchronize across the universe. There is no universal now.
yeah, exactly. Like that's so fucking weird. Like,
But
how
is
is
it
that
though?
possible? You know what I mean? Like, how
But
is
then
it?
there's loads of things that we don't. There's loads of things that we think we understand because we're this little bag of meat, right? That's a certain size and a certain kind of. We live on a certain scale, right? And there's
Yeah.
loads of stuff that we're not aware of. Like there's billions of particles whizzing through your body every second that you're completely unaware of, right? So what
Yeah.
you experience is real, isn't real. It's the bit that you get to experience, right?
Hmm.
But there's, fuck, I've lost my train of thought now.
We're talking about time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
hang on. Oh, I need another sip of this beer. Hang on a second. I was going to have a really good thought and it's gone. It's escaped me. That's the trouble with getting old. We were talking about something to do with stuff, weren't we?
Time and like basically like so is it I forget what it is, but it like the faster you're going, time moves slower. Is it something like that? Or is
Hang on. I've got a really good book
or
on that.
time like and time going like slower or faster doesn't even like make sense to me. Like, you know, that it could change. Like do you just like age faster? Is that what's going on? Or like or slower, or you're
Yeah,
actually only experiencing an hour when everyone else experiences 10 hours if you're going like super like
well, so they've done this with like atomic clocks, right? You take an atomic clock, you get two of them, right? You make two atomic cesium atomic clocks, right? They tick on a regular basis, and they're like very predictable. And you shove one on a plane and you take it around the planet, and then you come back and they're out of sync by a predictable amount, right?
yeah, like a second or two, maybe
Because
less
one of
probably.
them's moving,
Yeah.
and so it's to do with the fact that light is is like a speed limit. So so yeah, light being the speed limit is the thing that is a thing that kind of anchors the whole idea, right? So if you were traveling close to the speed of light and you were trying to and you were looking forwards, the light is leaving you at the speed of light, but you're traveling near the speed of light, right? So normally in Newtonian physics, the speeds, one speed subtracts from the other speed, right? But in Einstein's view of the world, it's relativistic. So because of the speed limit of the light, the only way that you can actually make sense of it is when the time dilates, it slows down, right? So it's all anchored around the speed of light being a constant, being like a barrier that can't be like surpassed. Which is
So
one reason
nothing will ever go faster than the speed of light.
I don't think so. From like it's all evidence based, right? So if someone does an experiment, because there was a like I don't know, it's like maybe 5 years ago, there was a whole flurry of excitement because they thought that they'd gone faster than the speed of light, but it was like some measuring anomaly or something. They published their data too soon when they were nervous about publishing it because they thought that it was probably wrong, but then they also didn't want to not publish it, right? And they published it, and then
That's
people
clickbait.
people poured over it and went, "Oh, hang on, there's probably a glitch in your setup somewhere," and they found that it didn't actually go faster than light. But yeah, no, I think it's probably a speed limit, But then who put the speed limit there? Who made all the rules of physics?
And like, so light can only travel at that one speed. You can't slow light down.
No, you can slow light down. You just
You can.
yeah.
That's cool. So then it should be called something else. It shouldn't be called the speed of light because light's not always even going the speed of light.
That's our lenses. But light slowing down is what bends light through your glasses, right? Because it slows down in the glass.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, yeah. So if like you put like some sort of barrier, it actually slows the light
When
down.
you go underwater, you can't see very clearly, right?
Yeah.
Because the water in your cornea, the light travels roughly the same speed, so it doesn't bend like it should.
Hmm.
When you put goggles on your eyeball, you trap a layer of air, and then there's that difference in speed between your cornea and the air, so it bends again, right? So you can't see underwater because
Oh.
so yeah, you can slow light down when you pass it through different materials. It slows down,
Yeah,
not a
yeah.
lot,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a percentage, but
Uh-huh.
that's what bends the light as well. That's how refraction works. If you go back to your grade 11 physics.
I feel like I'm too stupid to be talking about this stuff.
Well, no, it's good
Yeah.
because we there's no one watching at this point. It's just me and you, so it doesn't matter what we say. You can
Adam
come out.
says he watches. He says he
You,
watches to the
you
end.
can come out of that racist rant that you were starting with at the beginning now.
Yo, stop saying that. People are stupid, like you said. People are gonna not detect the
People are
sarcasm.
stupid,
They're gonna think that you're being
especially
serious.
especially that race that you were talking about before we started. Jeez.
The white race. That's the race I was talking about, everybody.
I'm not racist, but there's one race that I absolutely can't stand. The marathon.
Oh, right.
Too long, isn't it? Too long.
I like how you say marathon. Marathon.
How would you say it?
With more accent on the on. More
Marathon.
yeah, like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Marathon.
Yeah, for sure. Uh so what else is new, man? What have you been up to? We haven't talked in like a
What have
couple
I?
months.
Oh, I've been busy. I've been off work for the last week and a half,
Hmm.
and I was supposed to go to England. I had a big holiday booked. I was supposed to go to England, visit loads of friends and colleagues and stuff from previous places I worked. And then we were supposed to go on to Spain where my parents have got a villa. But that all got cancelled. So
Damn.
instead, I've been renovating everything around the house.
Nice, that's
So I
cool.
spent the last 2 days scraping paint off of concrete on my front steps, which has been really exciting.
You enjoy doing that stuff though, right?
It's all right. But scraping paint off concrete sucks.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean
But
it's cool to like do a job and then like
well, I mean,
actually
it gave
see
me the
a
excuse to go out and
product.
buy a pressure washer,
Yeah.
which is a lot of fun.
That's another thing that I hate about like being a telemarketer. It's like I didn't feel like I was doing anything productive. You know, I wasn't actually like creating anything. I wasn't
Right.
making the world a better place by fucking
Yeah.
calling people and annoying them.
Yeah.
You know?
Doesn't matter. We're all going to die. The world's going to blow up. The universe is going to come to a heat
Hmm.
death. There's going to be
Yeah,
no choices.
what is the point of life and like okay, like how are our souls possible? Like why am I
I
in
don't
this
believe in
body?
souls. I don't share your belief in souls.
So you don't have like a pilot driving the ship kind of feeling? Like I feel like I have something behind the eyes like where it's like I'm in this body and it's me. You know what I mean? Like you don't have that. You're more of just like a computer.
I'm like really hardcore materialist. Everything follows the laws of physics, and I'm just a big sack of meat following all the laws of chemistry and physics. And my consciousness is an emergent property of the complexity of my neurons and stuff. I don't think
Right. So it
like
but even with the that shouldn't it just be kind of like a computer in a sense? Like where did this outside thing come in where I'm like
I don't know.
experiencing this?
I don't know.
Like do you have that like where it's like you're experiencing this? It feels like you can make choices on your own.
Does
Does
it
it
though?
not?
I mean, no. Sometimes I feel myself making choices, and I know I'm going to do something. I can't stop myself, like eating chocolate when I'm trying to cut back. I'm reaching into the
Right.
bag, and I'm thinking, I could not eat this piece of chocolate right now. Nope, in it goes, and it's like almost there must be like a cascade of electrochemical stuff going in my brain, and there's like some ancient part of my brain is going calories, fat, sugar. And then my rational mind is going very quietly, don't eat that. It's not
Yeah,
good for you.
there is like a philosopher, you probably know his name, that doesn't believe in choice. Like he thinks
Is
kind of
that
like we're
Daniel Dennett?
no. I don't think so.
Sam
Maybe.
Harris. Sam Harris.
No, I don't know. But
Well, Sam Harris doesn't believe in free will. I know that.
mhm.
He's
So
quite out.
is that what you think? Do you think that there is no really free will, or?
Yeah, I do think there's no free will,
Mhm.
but I act as if there is. In my real day-to-day life, I act as
Mhm.
if there is free will, and I think that we all should, because
Yeah. Otherwise, it's super depressing, right? And like, what's the
well,
point? You might as
otherwise
well kill
you
yourself.
don't punish anyone.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
basically, if someone's an arsehole and they go around and they like run into an elementary school with a chainsaw and commit an atrocity,
Hmm.
you really want to punish that guy, put him away, don't you? But if you
Obviously.
get down to the basics of it, if you went down to like a really elementary particle level, it
Yeah.
was going to happen.
Yeah, it's like
But
he did that
but
because of this and this, like the
yeah,
chemistry going on in his brain, whatever outside
yeah.
influences, maybe how
But
he was
and I
raised, blah blah
understand it,
blah.
and I
But yeah.
understand it at that level. There's no way
Hmm.
I could let that slide. Do you know what I mean? It just
Yeah, exactly. They still
so
need.
if I'm sitting down and being like super nerdy and thinking about it philosophically, I would go, yeah, what our actions are predetermined, and in as far as they can be, right,
Hmm.
within the framework of quantum mechanics and that probability that we were talking about before. But on like a day-to-day basis, I don't act like I've got no free will.
Hmm.
Although as far as chocolate is concerned, I have no free will.
Now I want some chocolate, man.
See,
Damn.
planting the seed.
Hmm.
After this, you're going to be going around the house looking for it.
Hmm. Yeah, it does feel like people are like a slave to their needs in a sense. You know what I mean? Like if you
Do you think most people are sitting down having these thoughts and conversations, or most
these
people?
thoughts maybe sometimes, right? Because you gotta like one like that's the whole reason like a religion exists and all that kind of stuff is because people are like wondering like why, like what is going on.
Because I don't get. I never talk to anybody about stuff like this.
Really?
Um,
But
uh,
that's the
well, I
stuff
mean,
I
apart,
like to me because I smoke weed. I got like a lot of stoner friends that
yeah,
are like,
maybe I've never
"Whoa,
tried.
man, the
So,
universe, dude."
maybe I've never tried it.
You never tried smoking pot, even though now it's legal?
I've never smoked anything.
Oh wow, that's awesome, man. And you shouldn't. That's the thing is there's almost too much good press about weed, you know? They're like no one ever dies from it, it's not addicting, you can't get hangovers. But there are bad things like
Well,
I think
I don't think it's good for. I don't think it's good for developing brains. Like,
yeah, exactly. And it can possibly like trigger schizophrenia and stuff.
yeah. So the stuff that I was looking at was saying that before the age of 14, your prefrontal cortex is not fully developed,
Hmm.
and use of weed can affect your ability to control impulses. Um, so that's probably not a good thing. But after 14, it's probably not going to do because it's all in place after that, right? It's all stopped
Yeah.
developing and growing and whatever. You've got a mature brain at that point.
And they say it's non-addictive, but you can get addicted to anything, right? People get addicted to gambling all the time, and like that's not
Yeah,
even a
there's
real
different. Yeah, I
substance,
guess.
you know?
Well, yeah, or it might not be clinically addiction, but it could be
Hmm.
like a habit, right? It could
Hmm.
be habitual.
And like I've definitely like if I don't smoke pot, like I've had like withdrawals where like I wake up like in cold sweats and stuff like that. So I just want people to know it's not all good. Like there is a lot of good, and it is better than cigarettes, I think, and possibly like other drugs. But you know,
Do you get
there's
the same
bad things to
effects?
everything. Pardon?
Do you get the same effects from smoking it as edibles, or
For me, no. Yeah, like I don't know. With edibles, it's like I don't really like feel. You don't. It takes a lot longer, and it's like a different thing. Like I don't know. Yeah, it's hard. That's a tough question. But I think like with edibles, it's probably more healthy because like
yeah,
ingesting like smoke isn't healthy, right?
no?
Um,
Especially now when we're trying to look after our lungs.
but yeah, apparently like the most addictive substances are the ones that hit you the fastest usually, and smoke is like one of the fast, if not the fastest way for things to hit. Like meth is like you smoked, and then like injecting is like it hits you super fast. Eating or drinking it hits you a lot slower. So
Yeah,
those things are inherently less addictive because of that.
Right.
You know, you can't get your fix right away. You gotta wait for it to kick in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't think I've got an addictive personality anyway. I'm not addicted to gambling or alcohol. None of those things.
Yeah. So do you have any like plans for like your channel and shit? Because you said I better not get monetized before you.
Well, yeah, I mean that's basically the only plan is I just want to get monetized before you, and then it can go after that. Basically, how many subscribers are you up to now?
Not even 500 yet. I'm like four
Oh, that's
something.
fine. I'm
I
fine.
get like
What about your watch hours?
over 1,000.
Okay, I'm safe. That's fine.
Yeah, but I'm a quarter of the way there for what? So, and I've been doing this how long? Like 4 or 5 months or something now. Fuck.
Yeah.
Coronavirus. It's been forever.
Yeah. No, I think
So,
you do need to sit down and follow the stuff that Adam was saying. He knows he's talking about. You've got to put your little end screens on, your little.
But if people don't even watch the end, what the fucking point is an end screen? You know what I mean? Like, I think the clickbaity titles and stuff is a more important thing to focus on. Because if they watch all the way to the fucking end, I'm so happy. Like, then what? Let's trick them into watching another video by putting an end screen.
No, what you should, you should have like watch, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. You have one of those.
I hate that though. When someone says that, I unsubscribe. I dislike the video.
You should just put it on at the front. Just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Remember,
you got it. You got to play the game.
You got to have an icon that pops up. Bing, ring the bell. Remember to like and comment and share.
Yeah.
Like, who shares YouTube videos when nobody does, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it would have to be a really good explosion or crash for me to share something.
I guess like maybe fucking kids out there are sharing more shit on stuff, but like old people aren't doing that, like us.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm old too.
What have you been up to anyway? Apart from making these videos, because you kind of went quiet for a little bit, didn't you?
I got just like it's someone told me they're like, my friend said all your podcasts put together are over 2 days of time, right? And I was like, holy shit.
That person has got too much time. Calculator.
Yeah. No, I think what happened is they played my the playlist for me, and it like they just left it on in the background or whatever.
And then just left.
Yeah, just to give me watch time, and then they said it took like 2 days or something to finish.
All right, fair enough.
So like over 2 days. So fucking, and I don't know, for some reason I was just like, that sucks. I was like, I invested, like if I did it all in a row, I invested so much time into this, and I was getting less and less views as the episodes go on.
Yeah, you've got a portion of your time though. Smart, right? It's work smart, not hard, right? So you've got to do that.
Yeah, and if I'm making these videos, like I want people to see them, so if people aren't liking them, there less and less people are coming back to watch the next episode.
Right, and exactly.
Maybe I should be doing something else, or like.
Well, you've got to think about how the algorithm works, right? You just tune into what the algorithm goes, right. I want to put something in front of someone. I want them to click it. I want them to watch it long enough that I can give them an advert. That's
yeah, exactly.
So you've got to go through all the steps. There's like 4 or 5 steps in a row. Firstly, it's got to be a topic that the algorithm would serve. Like, so for instance, like what if someone's watching, I don't know, stuff on stand-up comedy, and you say stand-up comedy in the title, it's going to it might serve them the link in the first instance, right? Because it's got something that they're interested in. You might not be even hitting that hurdle because you haven't even got, and if you're not filling out the keywords or something in the description, it might not even know.
Yeah, and there's so many stand-up comedy videos already out there, right? So the ones that have more views already are the ones that get recommended.
Yeah, but I mean, if the content's any good, it'll work on its own, because if it's the topic that someone's interested in, it will give them a link. Then they've got to get past the hurdle of the thumbnail. Are they interested enough to click it? Then they've got to watch it, right?
Yeah, I wonder like how many people have like seen my thumbnails, seen my videos, and chosen nah. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
YouTube might have recommended it to some people, and it wasn't appealing enough because they're like, yeah, like who are these two idiots? I don't
well,
care, right?
they've got a screen full of other stuff, right? And there's like
Exactly.
like a dancing squirrel or a baby doing
Or a
something.
naked girl or something, right? Yeah, I gotta put
Right.
some tits and butts in my thumbnails.
Well, I can't help you there. Sorry.
Dancing. No, I'll just outsource. I'll get
I'll
a.
get my t-shirt on. Hang on.
Yeah. Are you so like you haven't done any shows, any Zoom shows before like the 17th or anything?
No, I haven't done any Zoom stuff. Although I'm going to do some Zoom stuff tomorrow night with Blair
Oh,
Brown.
nice. Oh, cool, sick.
So he approached me and asked me if I want to do improv.
That's exciting.
Yeah. So, I mean, Blair's wacky, right? He's just like he's off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be interesting. So it's like a murder mystery, scripted but not scripted. So there's like he's written this thing where he's got the characters and he's outlined the basic plot and some things that we've got to hit, but the rest of it we're just making up.
I think I'm doing that too, actually. Yeah.
Are you doing it tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That'd be sick.
You?
I don't know. He told me to pick what character I wanted to be, and I said you can pick for me.
Oh, you'll be Lady Farrington then.
Sick.
Yeah, so I'm doing that tomorrow. So I guess we're both doing that tomorrow. It's the first Zoomy, and then I think he's going to edit it all together and put sound effects on. And
oh, cool. Yeah, he is wacky, man. The podcast I did with him was so crazy.
He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's the first person that ever paid me money for comedy.
That's awesome.
And me and David Green and Jimmy England went up to that race place that he works at. The horse
Two
racing
English guys and a guy with England in his name all went to do a show together.
It got mentioned a few times that night. And it was just like, it was like a really weird show. It was just, it was like, I don't know. And there weren't very many people there. It was brightly lit. The layout, just nothing worked. It was like a wedding reception, and with the lights on. It just didn't work for comedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the room just wasn't working.
Yeah, I've done a few shows that.
And I basically, the stuff that I did at Pelham,
mm-hmm.
I basically did that stuff, and it just sank. It was just,
that sucks because you killed the Pelham. That's like the best I've ever seen you do.
The old people loved me.
Yeah.
It was clean. I wasn't swearing. The religion bit, I lost them a little bit with the joke about Jesus not being real. But I think I got them back. But anyway, I did that stuff, and it just sunk. It didn't land at all.
So do you think Jesus was a real guy, or is he completely made up? Do you think Jesus was a real guy or completely made up?
Don't know. Do I think there was ever a person called Jesus who lived in the Middle East? Probably.
Yeah, obviously.
But do I think that there was a guy that walked on water, raised people from the dead? No.
Could he have been doing elaborate magic tricks? Is that possible? And
yeah, I think it was basically like a Middle Eastern David Blaine, and then his like finale was the crucifixion. Then he fucked it up. It's like, no, not the real nails, you fucking idiot.
But maybe he didn't fuck it up because he came back 3 days later, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, "What's up?"
No, I'm not. See, my thing is, I could. Okay, so I'm not religious. I don't believe in God and all that. Mm-hmm. But if I did, it wouldn't be like the really provincial God that most people believe in, like Jesus and all that stuff, because it's just too.
It's unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it's just too tied up in the petty human stuff that, like, if something created the entire universe, they wouldn't give a shit how people are having sex, would they? Like,
right? Yeah, they wouldn't say like don't be gay and shit like that. No. Yeah.
So like they wouldn't be wrapped up in like all those like really stupid rules, and they wouldn't have like don't eat a goat in its mother's milk and all this nonsense.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Just
I agree. Mm-hmm.
And then you read the Bible, it's like, come on, really, this was written by a being that created the entire universe. They wrote the Bible.
No, they don't say that he wrote the Bible, do they? Isn't like the Bible written by like 4 different people? Like Paul, I think he's one of them.
That's the old.
I'm very old informed. Oh, so there's one that says it's written by God?
Well, that's what people claim, that it's the inspired word of God. But it's like, come on, he'd know better than to write this nonsense system. Firstly, it would be a page turner at least, right? I mean, who's picked up the Bible and gone, oh, I couldn't pull that down. It was I read it cover to cover. Like, if it was written by the person that created the universe, you'd be going, fucking hell, this is good. And
I don't even think they, like, if there is a God or whatever, I don't think that we would be able to communicate with them. You know what I mean? Like, God wouldn't just be speaking some language that we made up and shit.
I'm just.
I don't know. Like, yeah, this is all.
Done with religion. I gave up on it years ago.
Yeah, I was never religious at all. Like, my parents didn't raise me religious.
15-year-old. I was into.
You believed it, like deep down. You're like,
about
this is
a year
real?
and a half. Yeah, I was like,
wow.
I was like on a happy clappy, kumbaya, all that stuff, and then I started thinking about it and going, this doesn't make any sense.
Most like people that are religious seem like good people, though, right? Like they're not, which is a good thing, right?
Yeah, apart from all those pedophile priests.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And all those kind of people in the Crusades in the Middle Ages that tortured people.
Yeah. But I mean, nowadays, like, when you meet someone that's religious...
plane into a building.
When the religious people that I've personally met have been pretty nice, you know?
Okay, hang on. There's a book you got to read. Hang on, where is it?
I don't read books. Make it into a YouTube video.
You've got to read Christopher Hitchens. Have you read any Christopher Hitchens?
I haven't read a book probably since high school.
Have you heard of Christopher Hitchens?
No.
Okay. He's died of cancer about 5 years ago. He was one of my heroes. He just was an outspoken atheist, and he makes a lot of good points about religion and why it's sort of shit, and why we can sort of move on. And
basically, if you're only doing good things because you want to go to heaven, it still makes you a dick. You know what I mean? If you're like,
well, I mean, that's the point. That's the people say stuff like, oh, you know, you just don't want to be a Christian because you want to rape and murder, and you want to sin. It's like, no, I don't want to do those things because I'm a decent person. And if you need a religion to stop you doing that, you're an asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
that's how I feel too.
Religion doesn't need to be there to stop. You should know not to do that stuff already. You know, just by being a normal person. Anyway, I got to go and do some stuff with some things. So.
Yeah, we've been talking for a while. I really appreciate it, man. I don't even know what to title it still. Like, oh, cool.
Sav and Mark talk shit for an hour.
Yeah, no one's gonna click on that. All right, man. Love you, buddy.
Right. Yeah. Catch you later.
See you, man.
Bye.